The Bougainvillea, the new one, is going to go right down this path and right around where it turns to the right. You'll see in a moment where that's going to go. So follow us down the path and we'll get this going. We just need a few things to complete this Bougainvillea planting project. Again, here's our plant about to go in. But besides the plant, I like to have pruners in case we need to prune some roots or some stems off it, or maybe some dead growth right here. Keep those on my belt like that. Gloves. Bougainvillea, thorny, so gloves will help protect your hands and wrists from that. A shovel, of course, to dig the hole for the new plant. We have a bag of soil amendment that we'll add a little bit of that to the hole as the plant goes in. And we're also going to add, this is very special, it's kind of like a little secret. We're going to add a cup of treble superphosphate fertilizer in the bottom of the hole and place the Bougainvillea root ball on top of that. This was I learned about this when I was in college some years ago. And the instructor said, before you plant the Bougainvillea, take 1 cup of treble superphosphate, put it in the hole, put the root ball of the Bougainvillea on top of that, and that'll supply that plant with enough phosphorus fertilizer to last it its entire life. So I've been doing that, and boy, it just makes those Bougainvillea pop. You can't believe the color. Of course, we won't be able to show you that today because it'll take a couple of years, but we'll stick with us and we'll show you from time to time some updates. We will be very grateful if you like and subscribe to our videos as well. That's very important. It helps us a lot, and it helps us to bring more content that will help you in your gardens. So please like, subscribe, send any comments that you'd like us to consider. We'll get back to you right away. And of course, you can order our green side up custom t-shirt designed by me with my signature right on it right there. So there you go. So here's the deal. We're going to put the new Bougainvillea right where this Nandina is now, the heavenly bamboo you see sitting here. And it's going to come out, get transplanted nearby to a new location. We're not going to discard the plant. But to get this plant out of the ground, what I did was I took this spade shovel and went around and I punched in the ground and I went all the way around several places, and I could feel roots cutting and so forth. And I found also there were some roots that were bigger than the shovel could chop through. So what I use in that case is this tool. This cordless reciprocating saw. What I do is, after I get spade around with the shovel, I go right down and I push the end right down into that same slit that I did with my shovel, and I take the saw here and I just go around and cut the roots like that, go all the way around a couple of times. Now this is a 9-inch blade, and it was enough to get what I needed. I could feel it as it hit roots. It did cut through them, and that helped get the plant loose and out of the ground. The blade gets ruined real fast when you put the blade in soil. So this is like a one-time use, and you got to get a new one for the next time. But they don't cost very much. I buy a 6-pack of them, and I always have blades sitting around. These blades also work very well for pruning branches and bigger things like that. As you can see, this is called a landscape blade. And why it's different, it has much bigger teeth. I hope you can see that. Much bigger teeth than a normal reciprocating saw blade has. It works very well for this purpose. The heavenly bamboo, the Nandina domestica, after we dug around it 2 days ago, made sure it was all the way loose and would pop right out of the ground. We also pruned it back a lot because the root ball that is left would not have been enough to support the plant as it originally looked. But As you can see, there's still a fair amount of green growth on there, and it'll bounce back real quickly. There's a lot of stored energy in the stems and even in the roots that we got, so it should pop out and grow pretty quickly next spring. We are not going to discard that Nandina shrub that we're digging out to make room for the Bougainvillea. We're actually going to plant it right here in this hole that I pre-dug, and it should fit right in there real nice. The Nandina, also known as heavenly bamboo, should fit quite nicely with its companion plants. Here's one here, one behind me, so I'll put a third one in between them, kind of fill this space in a little bit. It's a little bit bare right now, and that'll be nice. We already told you that the existing Nandina domestica heavenly bamboo, we dug around it, it's ready to pop out of the ground. It'll just come right out, see? Bingo, just like that. Real easy. It's ready to go into its new home about 40 or 50 feet that way. But I'm going to set it aside for now. Set it aside for now. And now we're going to prepare the hole that the Nandina came out of to put in the Bougainvillea. And we're going to do that by taking a shovel and, of course, just going around and digging out some of that loose soil that fell back in. I won't bore you by showing this entire process, but I'm going to keep doing it for now until we get it done. Next, we're going to size the hole, make sure the plant fits in there nicely. Got my gloves on first. Here's our gloves. Oh yes, the hole is plenty big for this plant. Very few fertilizers that contain phosphorus contain this much. This product is called triple super phosphate. It's 0% nitrogen, 46% phosphorus, what we want, and 0% potassium. It's the phosphorus that we need for this plant. Again, phosphorus does two things for all plants. Aids in root development and promotes floral growth, and we want both for this project. Shovel just fell over, no big deal. Anyway, so that's what we added, and putting it. And phosphorus, by the way, moves very slowly, if at all, through the soil. So by adding it into the bottom of the hole and setting the root ball on top of that, that way it's there again, pretty much there for the life of the plant. Something else about fertilizers that you need to know. There's a process that can negatively affect streams and especially lakes called eutrophication, spelled with an E. Eutrophication. It's whereby these bodies of water becomes over concentrated with nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus, and that can promote algae growth and other negative effects on the body of water, and affect other native living things that are in there. But with our phosphorus being in the bottom of the hole, it probably isn't going to move anywhere at all. And so we're safe there. But I'm going to show you something about my property. We are most certainly concerned with not sending nutrients into bodies of water, because here's why. At my home in Chula Vista, California, there is a lake just outside our door. I can throw a rock and hit it from here. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to pan the camera over that way and show you our wonderful little lake that's literally just steps outside of our front door. We enjoy it immensely. It's filled up with all kinds of wildlife, birds, ducks, geese, turtles, fish, you name it, it's there. And we really, really, really enjoy. Nice bridge to walk across. You can see that right in the center. And it's part of our subdivision, kind of a private lake, sort of, but anybody can use it if they want to. But that's our lake, and we definitely enjoy it, and we want to protect it. Okay, let's test fit our hole again. Okay, let's test fit our hole again. It's all dug out. I'm going to drop the plant still in its pot in the hole to see how everything fits. If its hole looks like it might be a little bit too deep. And it is. So I'm going to put just a little bit of backfill back into the hole. Raise it up, raise the root ball a little bit. See what that does. Just a smidge more. We never want to plant plants too deep. That can choke the roots. We don't want to, if anything, plant them a little bit high and then mound around them. But that looks like that's pretty good now. Okay, now, so we're there. So now what we're going to do, I've already pre-measured out 1 heaping cup of the treble superphosphate. I'm going to put that down in the bottom of the hole, just like that. Pour it right in like that. Why the treble superphosphate, you ask? Here's why. On any fertilizer package, there are 3 numbers: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, in that order. Nitrogen is for green growth. Phosphorus, what we just added, is for 2 things: root development, which we want for this plant, and floral development, which we want for this plant. And the last number is potassium. That's not as important. You rarely need to add any, but anyway, that's the deal. So let's get to work and finish the job of planting our brand new Bougainvillea for my lovely bride. And the hole's been dug, cleaned out. There is a cup, 1 heaping cup of triple superphosphate in the bottom of the hole, right on top, and the root ball is going to go right down top of that. By the way, Bougainvilleas can be weakly rooted in the pot. You have to be very careful how you pop it out. Turn the pot upside down, keeping your fingers pressed against the soil inside, and gently shake it out, and then get it right over the hole and drop her in. That looks pretty good right there. I'm going to spin it a little bit, get some of the color showing a little better. And so there you go. Now all we have to do is backfill. I'm not even going to use this soil amendment. I'm just going to use the native soil that came out of the hole. Got plenty here for that. Again, when you're planting plants in the ground, do not bury the root balls below the nearby ground level. Keep the root ball level. Otherwise, you risk choking the roots. The roots need oxygen. The leaves need carbon dioxide to do photosynthesis, but the roots need oxygen. And if you plant them too deep, that plant can die. It does happen. And so you got to be very careful about that. So we got our new Bougainvillea all backfilled. I'm going to tamp the soil down with my foot a little bit. Scrape in some more of the loose soil that's sitting around here. Top that off a little bit. Okay. And as this thing grows, we'll train it against this wall and make a real beautiful display of color as it gets bigger. Last thing we want to do is give it a good drink of water. Like that. And of course, we'll have to keep it wet throughout the summer, throughout the fall, and then next year. We have our HOA has automatic irrigation, but This one will need supplemental water until it establishes, which will take a year, and then that's how we do it. Okay, so that's all done. I'll give you a close-up of that in a moment. So this is it. Here's our brand new planted bougainvillea in a 1-gallon container in the ground outside our patio wall here, and we're going to train it against this wall, and it should look really nice and give a lot of good color in this area in the next few years. So we're going to plant or replant that heavenly bamboo, the Nandina domestica, in that hole right in the center. We've already made sure the hole is the right size. And again, we dug the plant out from where the bougainvillea went in. We dug the plant out 2 days ago and pruned it way back, and it hasn't wilted at all, so it's doing really well. And we're going to drop it in this hole right here. Pop it in like that. We're not going to add anything, just put it in the soil that's there, and then we're going to start backfilling. That easy. Okay, let's give it a little bit of water. Get it off to a good start. There we go. And it's going to take again a year or two for this thing to take and start growing again, but we're confident it will. And as you can see, you saw before, the plant itself is looking real good from being dug out 2 days ago. Hasn't wilted at all. But that's pretty much done for us. Here's a wide shot of our new Nandina domestica arrangement. Here's one of the original ones here. The new one that we just transplanted to that location. And the third one right there. So it kind of makes a nice little grouping, I think. And it'll be really nice as we're going up the stairs and coming back down again. Our project is finished. We planted a brand new 1-gallon bougainvillea, the Barbara Karst variety, that color, for my bride, for my wife Joan. It's in the ground, it's all set. We appreciate your watching today, and we transplanted the heavenly bamboo, then the Nandina domestica, which was in that location, to its new location. It fits in real good with its two cousins, if you will. So, thanks for tuning in today. Please like and subscribe, and please, if you want, you can order our shirt, and you can be the first kid on your block to have that, by the way. My green side up, personally designed by me, a custom t-shirt. This new version that we just got in is signed by me, and like I said, be the first kid on your block. So thanks for watching today. Please come back again. We try to post unique garden concepts when we can, and make sure that you use that triple super phosphate in the bottom of the hole before you plant bougainvillea. It'll cause them to pop like you can't believe, and they'll be gorgeous. You'll definitely be the envy of your neighbors. Thank you for watching.